I just want to start out and just wishing Ron Rivera and his family the best. Obviously, heard news of the cancer diagnosis. I'm glad to hear that everybody's optimistic about it, but our thoughts and prayers are with Ron and his family. I have a lot of respect for Ron personally and professionally. So thoughts and prayers with him and his family. Secondly, I'm excited for Indy today, right? It's a big sports night with Pat McAfee. You know, he's a favorite of all of ours. So I'm looking forward with great anticipation for his debut tonight, his wrestling debut. So I won't get to see it live, but I will make sure to see a recorded copy of it. He's special to all of us here, as I know he is to many people out there in Indy. So let's support Pat in this endeavor. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to see him. Other than that, it was just a good day. Felt a little bit warmer out there today, which is good. The heat was good. You know, felt like we had good practice tempo. You know, really feel like on both sides of the ball, we're seeing improvement in certain areas. Defense, I really felt like had a pretty good day today. Offensively, I thought we started out pretty strong, made some nice plays, seeing some improvement in some areas, but then, you know, need to have a better second half of the practice. But all in all, it's normal training camp stuff. Going to have a few mental errors here and there. We need to continue to refine some technique and fundamentals, do the little things right, be able to concentrate and execute when we get tired. Those are all normal training camp things, but I think we're making good progress.
All right, Mike Chappell.
Hey, Frank, how you doing?
Hey, Chap.
Any update on Braden Smith, how close he is to getting back?
I think he's close, Chap. I mean, he's feeling pretty good right now. And, you know, we were being pretty cautious with him, but I think he's real close.
You hate to have a guy out, but this has given Raven Clark a ton of work. What are you seeing from him? And I guess what is the importance of this work for Raven?
It's really important, and he's gotten a ton of reps, and he's doing well. And he's being challenged every day by our defensive front, who is just playing really well right now. But Raven came in great shape. I think this has been a great time for him to kind of gain some confidence, you know, working in with the first unit. You know, obviously we're hoping to stay healthy again for 16 games like we did, plus games like we did last year up front. And you got some war horses up there, but, you know, the Raven's got to be ready. And this has been a great opportunity for him to get a lot of work.
Andrew Walker.
Hey, Coach, we saw Luke Rhodes wasn't out there today. How can that part of the operation being out with the emergency snapper in, how can that affect the timing? I think you probably have as good a perspective on that with your background, but how important is it to kind of work the kinks out now with that just to be prepared just in case?
Yeah, I mean, it's an adjustment, but there are no excuses, you know, when you may change snappers in a game, which doesn't happen very often, but you got to be able to come in and make that adjustment. So I thought it was good that it happened, you know, that we had to do that. Trey came in, did a great job. I mean, you know, we had each kicker had 7 kicks out there today. I thought Trey, you know, of those 14 snaps, I thought most of them were good. You know, from a kicker's perspective, what happens is, you know, maybe you slow it down just a tad. And that's the art of it. You know, you got to know what that feels like. Okay, we got a new snapper in. You got to understand the circumstances and situation where normally, you know, kickers were trying to get it off in 1-2-5 to 1-3-0. And okay, now you got a new snapper in. So, you know, maybe you slow it down just a tad. You can't slow it down too much because you don't want to get it blocked. But, you know, you want to be more towards the high side of that, you know, until that guy gets a groove and you get that confidence. But Trey did a good job today, and it was good work for us.
That snap to kick time is really critical for you guys, isn't it? You guys really take a look at that.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, as it's always said, it's a game of inches, yards, micro, you know, tenths of a second, hundredths of a second. So and it's interesting, that time has never changed, or, you know, even back when I was holding, you know, I mean, it was always 1-2-5 to 1-3-0. That's the sweet spot that you want to be in that get off time. So, and we hold our kickers to that. You know, sometimes most kickers on the longer field goals might slow it down a little bit. You know, because sometimes the defense is more in a safer rush and just trying to push in the middle. So they might slow it down a little bit on longer kicks, but you gotta be in rhythm.
Phil B.
Hey, Coach, thank you for your time. I wanted an update on Jack Doyle, and then secondly, wanted to ask you about Ben Banigou because it looked like earlier in camp he struggled a little bit in one-on-ones, and today he had 2 or 3 really nice inside moves.
Yeah, Jack's fine. I mean, Jack's an incredibly valuable piece to our offense, and so we're being cautious with him. And and we just with the neck injury, you just don't want to mess with a neck injury. So, we're going to take it slow with Jack. And Jack's kind of pro that even though it's vital to get reps, we know he can handle it. He's getting good mental reps, studying the film, being out there, taking everything in. It's a good chance for the other guys to get reps as well. So Jack will be fine. We just need him to physically recover, and we want to give him a little cushion in that time to make sure he's completely healthy. And Ben's got a ton of work and a ton of reps. I just looked at it this morning, of all our defensive linemen. I think he's close to the top as far as number of reps. I thought Ben had a good day today. He's explosive. He came back in the best shape of his life. His body composition, great. He's lighter and leaner and faster and quicker than I think he's ever been. And I think you see that out there in the field. And as you said, there's moments that, one-on-one, you got to try things out, and you're going to get beat sometimes, but you got to be patient and keep working it and trusting it. And I think Ben's going to do a great job for us.
Thank you, Coach.
George Bremer.
Coach, it seems like Zaire Franklin's really been around the football a lot. Is he maybe making that decision even a little bit harder at what was already a pretty deep linebacker group?
Yeah, no, Zaire's a very smart, instinctive player, has a knack for the ball. He's in complete control, understands the schemes, is quick at identifying what the offense is doing, is in great shape. He's a tough physical player. So we love our linebacker group. So yes, that's a tough group right there. I mean, we don't want to lose any of those guys. We like them all.
Joel Erickson.
Frank, is it tough to get, what's the challenge with evaluating Jacob Eason? When you've got Jacoby and Phillip that need snaps, and obviously he's a young player and the time, but what's been the challenge in getting him enough reps to evaluate?
It's just the number of reps, because we got to get ready for week 1. So Phillip's going to get the most reps, then Jacoby, and then, Chad and Jacob are going to split those last reps. But we're trying to get a lot of other work, with the walkthroughs. And, even though in the walkthroughs, even though they're not full speed, you still can evaluate mentally, where his eyes are going. Is he making the right protection call? Are we making the right run checks? Are we able to identify what the defense is doing? Talk him through that stuff. And that's where these days in the NFL, with limited roster size, you got to be able to maximize everything you can get out of a walkthrough. And so we've created opportunities to get extra walkthrough time with those guys, in particular, so that the quarterbacks can get those reps. So he's doing a good job. And then we very closely evaluate every throw. If it's an individual drill, watching all the drill tape, talking to him about that, just seeing those little things, that's all part of it.
Have you been impressed with the way he's handled things?
Go ahead, Joel.
I have been. He's done a good job in the meetings. I feel like he's picking it up mentally. I think he's doing a good job.
All right, Stephen Holder, last one.
Hey, Frank. I think you talked about this coming in to camp, that figuring out how to go about, getting the physicality would be sort of, a work in progress, I guess. How much do you go live? There's no preseason, all that. I guess there's no perfect answer, but where do you think you are in that? And I guess, has what you've seen so far, or will what you have seen so far impact how much tackling, if at all, you do? I don't know. I threw a lot at you there, but I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does, Stephen. And so I would say, I probably came into camp thinking, hey, best case scenario, we'd have a couple live periods, not many, but a couple. that's just going to be a day-to-day decision. Right now, the plan is to, to have a couple of the periods down at Lucas Oil on Monday not be live, but to be even more aggressive, an aggressive thud. Like right now, we're more or less just tagging off on the ball carrier a little bit. So there's a step in between being live and what you're seeing out here now, and that's just to have a more aggressive thud. So, we've talked about this as a staff, and rather than taking that final step and making it live, of just having a few periods where we focus a little bit more on, hey, we're going to finish these plays with an aggressive thud on the ball carrier. So we'll selectively continue to pick out those periods. I think inside we've been very physical. I think inside we've been playing very physical. There's no way not to play full speed. The whole key about the play up front is you just got to be able to play physical and stay off the ground so nobody gets hurt. And I think our guys are doing a good job of that.